treasure you seek is found in the cave you fear. Now, what does that treasure imply exactly? To be honest, I can't answer that specifically, but I've always had these subliminal fears of the public eye, of driving. Now, I personally didn't get my license until I was 18. And it's funny because as I saw my peers get their licenses when they were 15 and 16, I was like discouraged. I was somewhat envious and questioning why I wasn't at that point yet. But the thought of driving at that time felt so foreign to me. I was like, dude, there's no way I can possibly do this. I'm not capable. But then my dad, when I was, I think, 16 or 17, got me out to a parking lot nearby our house just to learn the basics, you know. And as soon as I got, behind the steering wheel and the first thing I did was release my foot off the brake, after inserting the keys, obviously, I kind of started to turn the wheel, get a feel for it. Over time, I kind of slowly started accelerating. And, we did that a few times. My dad took me out there a few times. And then, it led to the point where I was starting to drive on like back roads and then on a little bit of busier roads. And then as I kind of reflected on it, it's like, dude, I'm perfectly fine at driving. I'm perfectly capable. Why was I always so afraid of this? Why did I think I could never do it? It's like, that's why I've kind of grown to understand it's not as much driving that I was afraid of. It was the fear of that anxiety that would arise when driving. It was the fear of fear itself. And to this point, I'm very comfortable driving just about anywhere, but for some reason, I've still yet to go onto the freeway. And it's not that I couldn't do that. I'm sure I could go onto the freeway right now, and as long as I had an idea of where I was going, I would be perfectly fine. But it's just this fear. It's that anxiety, that feeling of like, oh, I'm incapable. Oh, I would cause a crash. I would get lost. Things like that are just, why? Why do I think like that? Why do I have that inclination going into it? And I don't necessarily know what that treasure implies, like I said, but it's that cave that I fear, of driving or of getting out into public, of getting a job, of approaching people, women especially. And, I'm glad that I've made this YouTube channel with Alex. I'm glad that I have, taken the time to write 2 books about my life and really allow myself to feel like I can have a place of authenticity, a place that's actually true to myself, that's genuine. I'm speaking on things that I would never have thought of, and as time progresses, I want to keep doing that, keep leveling up, keep growing. But in order to do that, there's some things that must be conquered. Talking on this YouTube channel about sex and sex life and my sex life and sexuality and all type of stuff like that isn't easy. Even talking about some of my psychedelic experiences on this channel isn't easy. Telling my parents about some things isn't easy. But no one's life is perfect. I don't have to be perfect for anybody. You don't have to be perfect for anybody. There's all things we're trying to figure out. There's always something we're trying to figure out because there's no secret recipe to this life. There's no strict code. No one has everything figured out. Matter of fact, no one has really anything figured out. We're not supposed to. It's the mystery. It's not about where exactly you're going. It's about how far you're going, Are you going to just keep going? That's what it comes down to. There's no destination. I've touched on this before. Life is literally a journey, not a destination. There's no end in sight. It's just literally progress. It's just go. Like that summit of the mountain right there. I've talked about, actually, I don't think it's right there. I think it's over there. But I've talked about it before. And how the summit can represent goals. And that's great, right? You want to achieve goals, but even when you reach that summit, it's not over. There's still more we're going after, and there's never truly an end. Even something like death, it might seem like an end, and truly it could be. I don't know for sure. I can't sit up here and speak from the standpoint of knowledge, but life goes on. And that's one of the big things with psychedelics that I've really been shown is how boundaryless it is, how limitless everything is, you know? Like when I'm undergoing an experience, particularly on shrooms, I would say more so than acid for me, I get these feelings of just like, this experience is never going to end. These feelings are never going to dissipate. Everything is just infinite. Those are the feelings I get, and it can be very tough to, you know, let go of that thought, because it's a negative, it can lead to a negative thought train. And that's the thing, that's when I'm really going through a negative thought train on psychedelics, is when I'm kind of realizing how endless everything is. But that's because I forget that this right here, not necessarily all my surroundings, just this in general, is all. That's all it is. You know? I don't necessarily think things can possibly move in such a linear fashion as we might perceive them with time, with age. I mean, they could. I don't know. It's just speculation and philosophy, but all that exists is now. That's all that ever existed, because 5 minutes ago, when that happened, it was now. 5 minutes from now, it will be now. But with that being said, you know, I've kind of gone all over the place with this topic, and I think the main reason is just because it's like, there's so much that we could always be going after, be achieving, right? Like for me with getting out of my comfort zone with driving more, for me getting a job, you know. But even when I ultimately do those things, there will be something else. There will be another form of crisis, of chaos in my life, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, etc. Like there's always a form of chaos. There's always a beast. There's always antagony, but that's just how it goes. Sometimes you just gotta live with that, but at the same time, keep going. But yeah, I said a lot in this video in a somewhat of a short period of time, but I feel like I got everything off my chest that I wanted to say. I hope you guys enjoyed, understand where I'm coming from, and if you have anything to say down in the comments, feel free to let me know. Much love to anybody watching. I really appreciate it. But yeah, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Either way, feel free to like, comment. And thank you for watching. Will from PSYCHONAUT Visions, signing out.